think this is relevant to today. It seems that despite the strenuous efforts of government, business, the church, the schools to control the thinking of millions of Americans, they were ready to consider harsh criticism of the existing system, to contemplate other possible ways of living. And this also coincides when a book was published by Edward Bellamy titled Looking Backward, in which the author falls asleep and wakes up in the year 2000 to find a socialist society in which people work and live cooperatively. This book describes socialism vividly, lovingly, and sold 1 million copies in a few years, and over 100 groups are organized around the country to try to make that dream come true. So this is when people are starting to consider different systems, different political philosophies, and just philosophies in general. It says here that revolutionary talk was in the air. In the 1880s and 1890s, immigrants were pouring in from Europe at a faster rate than before. They all went through the harrowing ocean voyage of the poor. Now there were not so many Irish and German immigrants as Italians, Russians, Jews, and Greeks, people from the southern and eastern Europe, even more alien to native-born Anglo-Saxons than the earlier newcomers. How the immigration of different ethnic groups contributed to the fragmentation of the working class, how conflicts developed among groups facing the same difficult conditions, is shown in an article in a Bohemian newspaper titled Svornost of February 27, 1880. There was desperate economic competition among the newcomers. By 1880, Chinese immigrants brought in by the railroads to do the back-breaking labor at pitiful wages numbered 75,000 in California, almost 1/10 of the population. They became the objects of continuous violence. The novelist Bret Harte wrote an obituary for a Chinese man named Wan Li. Dead, my revered friends, dead, stoned to death in the streets of San Francisco in the year of grace 1869 by a mob of half-grown boys and Christian school children. That's devastating.